All right, good morning. Today is Thursday, September 14th. As usual, doing analysis for US 30, gold, and EU. So looking at what we have today. So this morning we had some heavy news, one for EU, which was the cause of this whole drop. And also we had unemployment claims, and I think we also had PPI, this morning. So look, going over the daily bias, US 30 daily bias, I'm still bullish on it. Gold, I'm bearish on it still. EU, I'm bearish, and the dollar, I am bullish. And so yesterday we had some opportunities. Unfortunately, they came during manipulation hours when I don't normally take the trade. So you guys remember we caught the win, the buy yesterday for US 30. Here on the 1 hour time frame, you can see we had a test and rejection of the hourly time frame. So this would have been a trade to take. However, right, even if you were to put the 50 pips TP, 50 pips stop loss and 100 pips TP, you can see the 50 pips stop loss would be away from the SARs you're trading. So it's not even a trade I would have taken. But yesterday I also did mention during Asia session, you can get away with having a smaller stop loss. But anyway, so that's one trade. I wouldn't have taken it ideally because my stop loss wouldn't have been below the SARs, and I don't like breaking my rules. So on the hourly, nothing on US 30. Also on the 4 hour, I didn't see anything. Now gold, we had trades on the 4 hour for gold. So we had this 4 hour sell SAR zone right here. So this was a break and continuation. Now again, same thing here. And this, let's see what time it came. Yeah, so it came at like 1 a.m. in the morning Eastern time. So that's away from manipulation hours. So if you had like a 30 pip stop and 60 pip TP, so you can see again, this wouldn't have allowed, and you can see, right, manipulation and dropping back down. The issue with this, again, the stop loss is not above these SARs you're trading. So for me, I wouldn't even have taken this trade. I would have waited for the trade here and gone down to the 1 minute or 5 minutes. So that's the 4 hour. On the 1 hour, we have something similar as well. 1 hour right here. So 1 hour, this is a break. So we've had a bunch of entries on the 1 hour. Break, continuation. So this was one entry right here. And we have another entry that's currently loading. So this right here, and I want US 30 to keep dropping because I do see a buy coming in for US 30. So this was one entry for gold. And you can see for this, gotten stopped out, faked out, and back to TP. So again, right, some of these hours is just manipulation hours. But anyway, you could have gotten faked out of that, but it was a valid trade. The stop loss would have been nicely above the SARs you're trading. But unfortunately, you could have just gotten faked out and the trade literally would have come straight to TP. So you also want to be cautious of the time of the days you're trading. So remember, not only should you be cautious of the times you're trading, like away from manipulation hours, you should also be cautious of the days. So for example, if you have NFP, CPI, PPI, do expect some manipulation on that day. So here again, we have the same trade break and continuation. So of course, you wouldn't have entered this trade down here because again, it's so far away from the SARs you're trading and your stop loss is even the SARs you're trading are way above your stop loss. So right now, the trade is validated. So same thing we did for US 30 yesterday. So right now would be going down to the 1 minute time frame for gold or 5 minute. And I know we also have 15-minute entries. So same thing, 15-minute entry validated, break right here, this candle, continuation. You'd have waited for gold to come back in this zone, looked for an entry on the 1 minute or 5 minute. But right now we have validation on the 1 hour, on the 30 minute, and on the 15 minutes. So right now what I'll do on gold, I will go down to the what is this? I will go down to the 1 minute. So I'll remove the extensions. Let me change something here. see. I removed the extension, so I'll go down to the 1 minute. And now we need a break and continuation of a live SAR. So same thing that happened here. We need that in order for me to enter the sell on gold. So same thing that happened here. That's what I need. So I need a live SAR on the 1 minute, and I need 2 candles to close below it. So for me, I would rather gold to keep pumping up so that the recovery is nice. EU, as we wait on gold, EU, same thing. Validated on, this is the 1 hour time frame. So nothing yet on the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hour, nothing yet on the 4 hour. So we'll go down to, so US 30, let me check US 30 real quick. So US 30 right here on the 30 minute, because there's nothing on the 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 minute, US 30, it did a, so there was some trades right here. So this was a test and rejection entry, but this came at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. So this was one trade for US 30 right there. But again, I know I normally tell you guys also 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is a time to be cautious of. But this, if you can see this 30-minute candle, there's this double SAR zone right here. So that's a test, and this is a rejection candle. And that could have been a trade right there for US 30. But looking at where US 30 currently is right now, I'm trying to see a break and continuation that's already been validated. So there's this 30-minute zone I can see right here. I can tell this is a 15-minute zone because we can't see anything here. But for the 30-minute, it has already been validated because this is break and continuation. Now the entry, of course, this was too high up, and it was also before 30 minutes before New York Open. So this one right here, that would have been how the trade is validated. So right now the 30-minute trade is validated. So we'll do the same thing we did yesterday. We need to go to the 1 minute and find a break and continuation. But that's the current trade, and you see it almost went to full TP, and this one would have come back and gotten taken out a break even. So we know that on the 30-minute, there's a trade that has been validated for US 30. Also here, you can see we have 2 double SARs on the 30-minute that we've had a break above. So if this current 30-minute candle that ends in the next 12 minutes, so at 10 a.m., if this current 30-minute candle closes above here, hopefully it closes either above this zone or better yet above both of the zones, that will be a nice, and hopefully it closes next to those SARs. That's a nice buy one can take for US 30. But for me, I would rather US 30 to come a bit further down. So that's one trade for US 30 at 10 a.m. Let's see what news we have at 10. So we have business in inventory. So, okay, so that's one trade at 10. Now, that's on the 30-minute time frame. On the 15-minute time frame, what do we have? 15-minute time frame, there's this one trade that I'd seen this morning as well. Test, there's this triple SAR zone that had a test, and then this next candle rejected from it. So there was that trade right there. So this I would have taken. It wasn't 30 minutes before New York Open. It was actually 45 minutes before New York Open. So I just don't take trades that are like 30 minutes before New York Open. So this was a nice test and rejection entry right there. So because you have this zone, 15-minute zone, you have a triple SAR, got tested, candle closed above, the next candle came, tried to break below, but rejected and closed above. And for this one, your stop loss would have been well below the zones you're trading. So this is a trade. I think for this one, I would have used a half the risk I would use instead of using the full 0.75. But anyway, that was a 15-minute entry. Now, looking at on the 15-minute time frame, we have this double SAR right here that has been broken and closed above, and this would be the continuation. So same thing on the 30-minute, the entry would have been there, but you can see it would have gotten stopped out, and this is not even a trade you should have taken as much as it was valid, because your stop loss, for you to take this trade, it would have to be below, the stop loss would have to be below those SARs you're trading. So right now, the 15-minute and the 30-minute trade has validated. So right now we do the same thing we're doing on gold. So gold has already formed a sell SAR on the 1 minute time frame. So we need 2 1-minute candles to close below here for me to take the sell, because remember, the sell has already been validated on the 4-hour and also on the 1 hour time frame. Is it the 4-hour? I know it's definitely on the 1 hour. Yes, so on the 4-hour and 1 hour time frame, we've had a break and continuation. So right now we need the entry on the 1 minute time frame. So we need 2 1-minute candles to close below this zone for a sell. So 30 pips stop loss, 60 pips TP. And for US30, we do the same. This thing is pumping. Maybe there was, give me 1 second. So US30, the same thing we did yesterday. The trade has already validated on the 15-minute time frame and on the 30-minute time frame. So we come here. Yeah, it already pumped. So this is the entry that I was looking for right here. I'll wait for it. So hopefully it doesn't. Damn. Okay. We'll see. Hopefully it comes back down. But this is what I was waiting for. So we found that there was a valid entry on the 30-minute and on the 15-minute. But in order to avoid manipulation, we needed to come down to the 1 minute, the same thing we did yesterday, and wait for 2 candle closures above a live SAR. So that was the entry right there. Unfortunately, we missed it. This is why I like focusing on one instrument, because I was also looking at gold. If this trade closes on gold, give me 1 second. Between this to 0. Just once, I'm trying to think what percent. So the trade is already valid. I'm trying to see, I will jump into the gold sell with a 0.375 because I want to save my other risk for US30 as well. If US30 comes back up, I might hop into it as well. So I will risk 0.375 on this gold sell. So let me edit that. No, I'll wait for it to come back up a little bit because I've been used to getting slipped up. But I'll enter it. So it's not like I'm not good. If you want to enter it, feel free, but I just wanted to come back a little higher for me. But that is the trade right there. We're waiting for on the 1 minute. US30 as well. If it comes back down here, I will jump in with the other 0.375 so that both trades I'm risking 0.75 total. So hopefully US30 comes, hopefully both of them come back for me. I'm still waiting, but the trade is valid. Either way, I will enter. I just don't want to enter too far down when the trade is in profit. And maybe this is the one time it doesn't come back for me. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, because right now if I enter, I will lose like half a pip or 0, or what is it, 1 pip? No, 10 pips, yeah. So if you're willing to lose, because for me, I'm going for 30 pips stop loss. So if I jump in right now when the trade is like 10 pips or 9 pips already in profit, I will need to, okay. So US30, if it comes back down, I will jump in with a 0.375 as well. So none of these trades have filled for me yet. So this one filled, but it just went into profit like real quick. So, okay. So for US30, just 1 second. Come on, this thing is just moving so slowly. Yeah, because for me, US 30 is already like 10 pips in profit or something. So I really want to get that entry at my entry point. I don't know if gold is going to come back for me, but hopefully you guys got in around. So for me, price just moved. I got like a little analysis paralysis for a moment there. So that's why I like most of the times just focusing on one instrument, because right now I might miss out on both trades, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. So for you guys who are just joining us, this gold trade is based off of this break, continuation, waited for the retest up here, because of course you couldn't have taken it, right? If you took this trade right here, you would have gotten faked out. So we always want our stop loss to be above the SARs we are trading. So the trade already validated on the 1 hour and also the 4 hour. So we came down to the 1 minute to get that entry right there. Wow, this is, I mean, I'm happy for you guys if you're already in profit. So if I'm stuck out of this trade, or if it doesn't give me an entry, then at least you guys, if you hopped in, you made, or you're making money. Okay. Gold is literally melting. No, that was a nice trade. So you can see the importance. So think of it this way. Again, I don't know if it's here today invest. If you do not, if you extend your lines on the 1 minute, you like, look at this price action. This is why on the 1 minute and 5 minute, I choose not to extend the lines, because like you wouldn't even know what you're looking at here. Sometimes you wouldn't even know where price is at. So that's the reason when, especially for that time frame that's giving you the entry, you want everything to be clear for you. So for like this particular trade right here, it was so clear that you were trading this live SAR, and it was so clear what 2 candles you are getting that were closing below or above that SAR. So keep in mind, if this trade gets to a 1:1 for you, go ahead and set break even. So 1:1 will be right here. So if this trade gets here, go ahead and set break even, and then just decide what you're going to do, whether you want to set break even and hold, or whether you want to secure some partials. But at the very least, when this trade gets to this zone, go ahead and set break even. So based off of, so remember, right, you guys always hear me talking about wicks. So based off of what I'm seeing here, you see all this wicks on US 30. So this is telling us that we have a bunch of buyers sitting here. So we might, hopefully, if you guys jumped in even at this retracement, I don't know, today I'm just freezing for some reason. If you guys got that retracement, well and good, and you should be up in profit. I don't think this is going to come back and give me an entry. So today might just be one of those days for me. So this trade as well, when you achieve a 1:1, go ahead and set break even. So 1:1 for this trade will be here. 50 pips. So when this trade gets here, go ahead and set break even. So this wicks are telling me there's a lot of buyers sitting here. And if I turn on even there's the markups indicators, so the order blocks indicator, so since that's the 1 minute, maybe they're not gonna load. We should see some, so we don't have any order block right there. If I turn on the zones, we don't even have buyers. So today, we don't see any order block there or any buyers sitting here. But that's a nice trade as well. So this would have been a nice trade. Again, no drawdown trade, similar to what we had yesterday. So there you go, almost at 1:1. So you guys go ahead and set break even on this trade. So unfortunately today, as much as I marked them up and I called them, I just froze for some reason today. I think I was just thinking, gold, I was thinking US 30, so I didn't get a chance to even jump in on any of those two trades. But if you guys are already in, you had no drawdown for both for US 30 and for gold. So US 30 is already at 1:1 risk to reward. So if this trade hits, you're up 0.75%, because remember I said I was splitting my risk between US 30 and gold. So I was going 0.375 on gold and 0.375 on US 30. So if this US 30 trade hits, you'll be up 0.75 for the day. If you entered with 0.75, if you entered with 0.5, you're up 1.5 or 1% for the day. So that's the key thing about proper risk management. Yeah, so I could tell that this trade wasn't going to come back for me. And also you see how, similar to when we're trading order blocks, you want to see this rejection, hopefully not when you're already at break even, but when you're entering a trade, you want to see this rejection from your entry zone. It's actually not a bad thing, because it's telling you that your entry was a nice entry, and gold as well is dropping to. All right. Let's see what else. EU, there was nothing. EU validated on the 30-minute time frame, validated a lot, validated this three, 1, 2, 3, triple SAR sell, triple sell SAR, triple sell SAR. So this was break, a continuation. So of course, even for me, if I was trading this is not a trade I would take. It's a valid trade, but the reason I wouldn't take it, if I'm doing a 30 pip stop loss, my stop loss is not above any of these SARs. So for me to take this trade, I would have to expand my stop loss all the way up there. So that's like a 60 pip stop loss. So for me to have even a 1:2, I would need to go for a 120 pip TP, and I'm not willing to do that for FX pairs. So for me, for this trade as well, as much as it validated, I would do the same thing we just did for gold and US 30, wait for this trade to come back here, and then go down to the 1 minute, go down to the 5 minute, and that's it. So it's as simple as that. Gold. So gold is approaching that 1:1 level. So you guys just get ready to set break even. Okay, we had 10. So 10, there was something we were looking at for US 30. No, I'm sorry, was it US 30 or gold? Gold. No, my bad, it was US 30. So if we go back to the 30-minute, because I remember there was a 30-minute entry. So if I go ahead and extend these lines again for US 30. Yes, there it is. So maybe this is the trade I'll enter. So this is a break, and that's the continuation. So you guys remember, if you joined in the beginning of the session, and maybe I'll use the markups because maybe it helps you guys see. So this zone, so break, this candle broke above 1, 2 double SARs, and then the continuation candle also closed above. So that is a buy for US 30. However, so I think this is when I'll get my entry for US 30. So this one, for me to have a 50 pip stop loss, see something. So of course, I would want my stop loss to be below even this double SAR at the bottom. So same thing, you always ask yourself, relative to the entry, as much as the entry is valid, is my stop loss below the SARs I'm trading? So for this one as well, the 30-minute entry, waiting for it somewhere around here. All right, so I'll go back to, I'm sorry, I'm getting some other messages. I'll go back to the 1 minute and again, find, so the 30-minute validated. So if I go back here, oh, maybe I didn't mark that up for you guys. So this is a break and continuation. continuation of a double all right, so hopefully you guys can see that. So that's a break and continuation. So if you're in the other trade, I think you just got stopped out. Oh, no, I think you're still in the trade. Right. So this is, let me take this out. So for this markup right here, this is it, break and continuation of a double buy SAR zone in the direction of daily bias. So I'll go back to the 1 minute as well. So I know it's already validated, but it was just risky for me to enter this trade up here. And you can see if I did that, I would have gotten stopped out. So now you see where this rejection is. So sometimes I will enter, if I wasn't trading with you guys, I'll enter like on impulse at this zone right now. But let me see something. No, I'm not gonna do that. So let's go back to the 1 minute. So 1 minute. So if you guys were in the original trade for the 1 minute, you guys just got stopped out or are still in the trade, but might be getting stopped out at break even. So I am looking for now the same. So hopefully the same trade to come back again on the 30-minute time frame. I'm sorry, on the 1 minute time frame. I don't know where my head is at today. So we need the same thing that happened here to happen again, and I will enter the trade. Gold, go ahead and set break even if you're in this trade. So you're already at a 1:1 risk to reward. So go ahead and set break even, make a decision. What do you want to do here? For me, I just set break even. And the only time I'll take partials is if, let's say I took like 2 losing trades before this, and then I've already achieved like 1:1 here. I might just take the whole trade out here. And then if I was down like 1.5% for the day, in this instance, I would be, if I took full TP, I would be down maybe 0.75 or something. So, but if it's my first trade of the day, like today I haven't traded, if it's my first trade of the day, I'll just let whatever happens happen. So I think you guys who still, if you had entered this trade, and I know we got it a bit late, by the time we saw it, the trade was up here. So I'm guessing if you guys were in the trade, you'd have gotten stopped at a break even either way. But with this trade, if I do get this trade, I will enter in with a 0.75% risk because I'm not already in the gold trade. So I'll just combine my risk in here. And just let me know if you guys have any questions in the meantime. So I want US30 to keep dropping. Same thing that happened yesterday. I would rather it to keep dropping. My daily bias for US30 hasn't changed. I am still bullish on US30. The US30 buy validated on the 15-minute time frame, on the 30-minute time frame. So right now, what they're doing, I'm expecting this to be manipulation, and I'm expecting US30 to swing all the way back up. Also, the daily time frame, same thing that I analyzed based on historical price action. US30 does a major drop in July, sometime between July and August of every year. No, July to September of every year. This time it happened here, and we actually saw this trade real time, and I sent out this trade as a swing trade. So right now I expect US30 to swing all the way back up. I think that momentum is going to come at the end of September, and afterwards US30, if history is something to judge it by, should go create a new all-time high and create the yearly high. So I am still very bullish on US30, but I don't mind US30 coming back down because I know that it's coming back down in my zones, and I know I'm not forming into a trade. I know I'm waiting for that perfect, not perfect. I know I'm waiting for my confluences to align. So based off of how it's dropping here, if you guys remember, we have some other zones on the 15-minute time frame, and I'm not going to extend them again because I know here I already marked them up in green, so I don't have to keep extending back and forth. So here we also have double SAR here. I can't tell whether it's on the 15-minute or 30-minute without extending, but I know, these green zones I've crossed out are the zones that have double SARs either on the 15-minute or 30-minute. So if US30 is to come back down here as well, keep in mind, as much as it may come back down here, it can give us a test and rejection entry, which is also better. So gold is still there, the 1:1. So let me hold it on the 15-minute time frame for now. If it starts going up, I can tell whether it's creating something on the 1 minute. So let's just hold it on the 15-minute time frame for now. So if you guys were in the original trade, you're out at break even. I know you came close to TP, but so that's just break even for that trade. And that's perfect. I want it to keep melting and melting. So anticipate this as like a stop hunt, or they're coming to pick up liquidity from these zones. The other thing, and this has helped me like staying away from trading news, because I've found that sometimes when I'm trading news, this was way back, it either makes me FOMO and then I end up being in a loss. And then when New York opens, for the last 3 days, we've literally gotten the trades right around this time. So it's still early in the day. And I think that's also what's called ICT calls like a silver bullet time, like between 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern time, 3 to 4 a.m. Eastern time, and like I forget what the Tokyo session silver bullet time is. So as much as I saw this push up after CPI, like I was like, okay, this is fine. But I was expecting some sort of retracement during New York session. So instead of the same thing that I marked up here, instead of you chasing the buy up here and then getting stopped out and then you feel bad and you're like, okay, if only I waited. So as much as something might push up heavily before New York session, a good amount of times price should come back to where it was meant to be. It will pick up that liquidity because remember, during heavy news events, they try to trap both buyers and sellers. And to do that, it's actually pretty challenging because how do you trap both buyers and sellers? Because at some point, you're supposed to give buyers some profit. You're supposed to also give sellers some profit. So that's how manipulation works. They can push price all the way up and trap those buyers. Yes, I mean, US30 can be bullish from today, but if US30 is supposed to be bullish from today, of course, they know there's some people who are anticipating that, and then they'll try and show them that price is going up. They lay traps for them up there, trap them in, and then drop US30 back down. Okay, and then people start saying, oh, US30 is tanking, and then people start doing what? Getting into sells. Probably you guys have been part of that where you bought and you sold at the same time, and during one instance you even ended up blowing your account because you closed the wrong side of the trade, and US30 or whatever instrument you're trading went to the direction of the trades you closed. So that's how they trap both buyers and sellers. So right here, so long as you're waiting, you're patient and you're waiting for that confluence. So the same thing that happened here, that's the same thing we're waiting on. And I do anticipate some possible rejection right here. So we know that this is a 15-minute or 30-minute double SAR here. So we might get that rejection somewhere here. All right, gold is still pushing. So you guys should be up 0.375 on this trade. That's 750 on a 200K account, which is what I'm using. On a 100K account, that's like what, 325 or something. 375. 375 maybe. I don't know. Again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask.
This is a random question, but when was the last time you did a trade with your indices against each other and was successful?
I did what? Traded?
Like you trade gold, let's say you take a sell on gold and you take a buy on US 30 and you were successful.
Yesterday we did, it would have been successful because yesterday we're looking for buys on US 30 and sells for gold. We want the buy on US 30. Gold, what gold did yesterday, it faked out. If you're in a sell for gold, depending on where your stop loss was, you could have literally gotten faked out. And so let's see gold yesterday. I know I didn't take the sell on gold yesterday, but I was looking for it. So yeah, this was the candle here. So yesterday during the lives, and I can see US 30 here is still dropping, so no big reason, no big deal. So yesterday here, I was waiting for this candle right here to close below here, because this would be test and rejection, because this had already validated here. So this was before news, because this was a test. This was a rejection candle. If you entered on there, literally gotten faked out, trade would have come all the way down. So after this invalidated, because yesterday was CPI, then during the live session, the rejection candle in the previous setup now became the test candle. So this was test. Then this was meant to be rejection. But at the very last 10 seconds of the closure of this hourly candle, this candle did not close below here and invalidated. But again, it then created what is this? Test, the next zone, the next time it created a setup, this candle created a test, because both of these candles closed or opened inside the zone. So you want candles to close outside the zone or to start away from the zone. So the next setup it created was test, test rejection candle. But because of the height of this candle, it wouldn't have allowed you to your stop loss to be above this SAR as you're trading. This trade, I would have waited for it here and I would have gotten an entry. This was actually, I remember this, it was actually 9 p.m. New York Eastern time. And for me, I don't trade during that time. I only trade from 11 p.m. But that was the trade right there. So yesterday, even minus this one right here, let's assume this candle right here closed below this double SAR sell, and then it formed the test and rejection. This sell, which because this was the entry candle, let's assume it started here or whatever here, this sell you'd have survived. That's if this trade had validated. So yesterday, gold actually dropped while US 30 pumped up. So there's days that happens. So as much as, and I normally let you guys know, I don't like trading being in like a buy for US 30 and a sell for gold. But if I get that trade, I will take it, because not every time will you get these instruments moving together. Another good example for that, if you just backtest, look at gold and EU. Gold, there's a day, this was during this move up. During this move up here, so this was Wednesday, 23rd of August, Wednesday, 23rd August. Okay, perfect. So Wednesday, 23rd August, right here. Gold was pumping up, EU was dropping. So gold, and same thing if you look at the DXY. So as the DXY was pumping up, gold was pumping up. But you'd expect that if the DXY is pumping up, gold should be dropping. But on those 3 days when the DXY was pumping up, only EU was going down, and maybe other FX pairs tied to go to the US dollar, but gold was actually pumping up. So due to such occurrences, I'm not afraid to be like in a gold sell and EU buys. For me, so long as the trade is valid, I will take it. So I'm not afraid of being like in opposite trades of something. Worst case, what I'll do is like what I told you guys today. I told you guys do like a 0.375% risk on gold, and then do 0.375 on US 30. The best thing with that is, if let's assume when you've entered opposite trades of things that move alike, the best thing with having like a nice one is to risk to reward. The best case scenario, both trades hit full TP and you end up getting the same risk you would have gotten by just putting it all in one asset. But you're splitting risk to cater for the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is both trades hitting stop loss, which is kind of weird, but that's a worst case scenario. Now, the middle ground is one trade hitting stop loss. So if you like here, how we are doing, if this US30 trade, let's assume this US30 trade did not get to 1:1 risk to reward and came down and hit stop loss, you would be down 0.375 for this trade. But on gold, right now, you'd already be up 0.375. So at that point, you go ahead and make a decision. Do I just X out and be break even for the day? But what can also happen here on gold? Gold can keep dropping. Then gold gives you like 0.75% return. So at the end of the day, you lost 0.375 and you gained 0.75. So you're actually up for the day. So for me, I'm not afraid of being in a buy, in a gold buy and US30 sell. So this is perfect. I needed to keep dropping because when we get that 1 minute entry, that will be a nice push to the upside. So US30 valid buy on the 30 minutes, US30 valid buy on the 15 minutes. The reason we are down on the 1 minute is because of the distance of where the entry was relative to the SARs we are trading. So if I go back here to the 30 minute, entry was all the way up here. But you can see the SARs we were trading are down here. So our stop loss would not have been below here. So this is why we are waiting. And I did mention, I don't mind it coming down here because this can now give us a test and rejection entry. So if we go down even to the 15 minute, that can give us a test and rejection entry. All right, so we'll just wait on the 1 minute again. So there it is. So you guys can see it. It's printed live. So we need 2 1 minute candles to close above here. And when that does happen, I will go ahead and enter that buy on US30. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get into this US30 markup we got, but hopefully I should get it now. So if I get in this trade, I will be getting in with a 0.75% risk. And this gold, again, is coming back to break even if you're still holding that trade. So I need 2 1 minute candles to close above this zone. And then I will buy US30. So this is literally the same setup we got yesterday. Also, look at the zone it's bouncing from. So you guys remember I had drawn that zigzag right here, bouncing off of this zone. And also, as much as I'm not using this buy signals, I like seeing them on the screen because and relative to the zone that it's at. So if I go back, so we probably have like 3 more minutes. So I mean, we're not gonna miss that. If I go back to the zone it's bouncing from and extend these lines, you'll see, look at this. This is a 15-minute, 15-minute double SAR. So this eventually might give us a test and rejection entry. So let's go back to the 1 minute so that we don't miss that. I don't know if you can put like this on the screen. I don't think that's possible because it would be so nice if I can just have a input on the screen that I change in there. Now, if this candle closes, I will be taking that buy on US30. So same thing. So same logic as the 30-minute and 15-minute. If this continuation candle, because now this is a break and continuation, if it closes, like for example here, that's not a trade I will take. I need to wait for that retracement. So it's always waiting, always asking yourself relative to the SAR you're trading, how far is your entry from that SAR? So right now I'll go ahead and prep my trader. I'm going in with a 0.75% risk. So it's all set, 50 pips stop loss, 50 pips TP, and I am in that trade right now, right there. So I'm in the trade now. So hopefully we pump up nicely from here. All right, so this is a trade that got taken out at break even, so that's fine. We'll just leave that. So this is not a 1 minute trade. this is a 30-minute trade. So this, the trade we just got in, as much as the entry was on the 1 minute time frame, the trade was here. But in order to avoid that manipulation, we waited until US 30 came all the way back down and then found the entry for it on the 1 minute. Now you don't have to, you only do this if the entry point is so far away from your SARs. But if the entry is literally next to the SARs, you can hop in on the 30-minute time frame. So I only go down to the 1 minute and on the to the 5 minute only if my entry point is like 70%. What if my entry point is so far away from the SAR? So remember, the key thing is to make sure your stop loss is below the SARs you're trading. Okay, that's US 30. Let's go to gold. So gold, you'd have been taken out at break even. So the original gold trade is out at break even. Original US 30 trade, which was somewhere above here, got taken out at break even as well. So this is on the 30-minute. And let me do this extension again. Right. So another trade to be on the lookout for is this test and rejection entry on the 15-minute time frame. So this candle is giving a test, has already tested this zone. If another 15-minute candle fires, that will be a possible entry as well on US 30 later on in the day. That one right there. So possible test and rejection. That's on the 15-minute time frame. On the 30-minute time frame as well, there is this double SAR right here. So if we do get a candle that's testing here, and of course, since we're in a, or for me, I'm in a buy right now, I really don't want the candles to come down and do the testing right now. But if we do get 30-minute candles testing down here, that might also form later on in the day a test and rejection entry later on in the day. Right. So still in that trade, it's like at 50% drawdown. I'll go back to the 1 minute so that we can see it there. So that's the trade. Right, so let's see on gold. So this is already done for gold. I'll leave that on there because I need to do the trade recap later on in the day. Let's go to the 30-minute time frames for gold. Yeah, I would rather stick to this US 30 trade we are in right now. And see how it goes. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Yeah, so EU. Anything with EU, I would prefer to wait for it somewhere up there. We have this GBP and ZD. So I sent this trade out when I sent this trade out 24th August. So what's that? 21, what, 3 weeks ago? So this trade is running almost at, I know it was a 350 pip stop loss. So I think it's almost at break even. It's approaching a 1:1. So yeah. So that trade too is almost at break even. Oh, I forgot. So this morning, as we wait for US 30 to do whatever it's doing. So remember, I told you guys yesterday, before heavy news, CPI, PPI, NFP, etc., you can use the crosses indicator as a cheat sheet. So for example, today, so news was at 8:30 right here. So when I used to trade that way, or when I used to trade news, I would, and I just realized this like a couple of times after. So if I get like today, how I would trade this before news, so news here was, and this is on the 15-minute time frame. Before news, like 15 minutes before news, I would see what was the last signal of the crosses indicator. So either the original cross or the secondary cross. If it was a buy, I would see if I can get a buy with anything else. So maybe the breakout. And speaking of the breakout, I need to check something on the breakout scanner today for you guys. So if, for example, I have a buy entry using a double SAR on the 15-minute or 30-minute, what I would do is see what was the last signal. If the last signal, the last signal was a buy using the crosses indicator, and I have a 15-minute entry for an SAR buy, I would literally just hop into that buy and then make sure I have proper risk management and stop loss or whatever. So like today, see when news happened, did like a fake drop, but then US 30 kept pumping up. Gold literally did the same thing. So gold here, the last signal before heavy news. So this was the news candle, 8:15 right here. No, that was 8:15. So 15 minutes before news. 15 minutes before news right there. The last signal was a sell. So, and actually there was a sell entry on the 15-minute time frame for gold right here. One of this, I forget what it was. There was some entries right here, like a break and continuation on the 15-minute time frame, 15-minute or 30-minute time frame. 8:15. Yeah, this one we had. No, this was a test and rejection because this right here. Wait, I don't want to. Anyway, let me just do it. I just hate going back and forth and extending this. I'll ask my programmer and see if there's a way to change that easily. So here we had, this is the 15-minute time frame. So maybe it was on the 30. I thought I saw something. Yes, break, continuation right here. And by this was 1 hour before news. So this was a break and continuation, 907, 661, 910. So this is a trade, let's say I would have been in before news happened. And looks, I'm not sure if I would have been taken out at stop loss. Yeah, I wouldn't have been taken out at stop loss because this is a break continuation and this is before news. So if I was in this trade and this was the news candle right here, I would have held this trade. The reason I would have held this trade, or I would have continued holding this trade, the reason I would have continued holding this trade is because at this point at 8:15, 8 a.m., looking at the crosses indicator, the last signal on the crosses indicator was a sell. So this is the reason, if I had entered this trade like an hour even before news was closed by, I would have held this trade right here, primarily due to the fact that after back testing, and you can do this on your own, the signal that's literally before news time, whether it was 30 minutes before news, whether it was 1 hour, but make sure it's on the 15-minute time frame on the crosses indicator. Price during news normally goes in that particular direction. So that's just something to, so next time when you guys know it's NFP, next time when you guys know it's CPI, so it's CPI, NFP, I would say FOMC meeting with like those news releases or conferences, just look at what the last signal before that news comes out is, and then look for an entry, whether it's on the SAR or whatnot, and then see if you want to trade in that direction. But it's just something that I have noticed over time. So this trade is back in profit. So you can see this manipulation. And also, this is another good thing about drawing these zones for yourself so that you can see where price is rejecting from. And also, again, the SAR indicator is in all of the indicators that I have, but I switched from using the high-low plus trend indicator, and I'm using the reversal indicator ideally because of these signals. Because ideally what I'm looking for in this, and it's just something I'm just testing subconsciously, I want to see price bouncing off. So for example, if I'm buying based off of this zone, or if I'm expecting price to bounce off of this zone that I know it's a double SAR, I think this is a double SAR on what, the 30-minute, the 15-minute. So if I'm expecting price to bounce off here, I would like to see some buying momentum there. So it's not like I'm using the indicator to blindly buy or sell. No, my entries for now are all based off of the SAR indicator. I'm not using order blocks. I'm not using the crosses indicator. I'm not using anything. So keep in mind, I told you guys, until you understand the SAR by itself, if you try to mix the SAR indicator entry with other entries, you will more than likely end up losing money, which I did a lot when I first came up with it and I was trying to test it or to include the markups, the order blocks, everything, because I was just getting confused. So similar, you guys saw this morning for these break-even entries, is as much as I marked them up, I was like confused in a sense because I was trying to trade both gold and US 30. But if you focus on one thing, like your focus is fully on that. Like right now, my focus is fully on the SAR. Maybe sometimes I'll come in here and I'll turn on the markups and everything. But what you'll find is that if you find your entries for the SAR are nice and you turn on the order blocks indicator, you'll find that, oh, like the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we had that nice entry. And then when we turned on the order blocks indicator or the markups indicator, we found that there was actually a 4-hour bullish order block and there was actually a demand zone in there. So all of the strategies that I've developed, they're related to each other. So you don't have to use all of them at once. If you master one and you bring in the others, you'll find that the others are actually matching to what you are seeing in the one. So don't feel like you need to use the breakout. Don't feel like you need to use the reversal every time. No, you can literally just stick to the reversal indicator and you can just make bank off of it. So this trade is almost at a 1:1. So 1:1 risk to reward will be somewhere here, 50 pips. So once we achieve this zone, we go ahead and set break even and we should get a nice push to TP, hopefully. So I don't like being on the 1-minute time frame. It's just I don't like seeing candles moving that fast. So when the trade gets here, let's just go ahead and set break even. But you can see that rejection, right? That rejection, because here we have that double SAR. So you can see the importance of having your stop loss below that zone. So this was the entry right there. I think yesterday we had a similar price action where price at some point just started going sideways and then all of a sudden had that push to the upside. There it is. Gold is pushing up again. All right, nice push. There it is. So fingers crossed, if this goes to full TP for the week, we'll literally be back to back, fingers crossed, back to back wins. Because we had win Monday, win Tuesday, win Wednesday. If we have another 1.5, that's literally 6%. 1.5 times 4, I think is 6. Is it? Yes, it is 6. So fingers crossed we get that win for today. So if we go down to the 5. So one thing I like about here on the 5 minutes, so remember the wicks. Here we have this, what is it? Like a bullish pin bar. So we have those wicks right there. So we know that there's buying pressure right there. We just need this 5-minute candle to close above here. If we get this 5-minute candle closing above this previous 5-minute candle high, we should get a nice pop up to the upside. Right, let's see what else we can find. So here on EU, this I think is on the 4-hour time frame. This is on the 4-hour. Unfortunately, this did not validate as a break candle. So nope. So 1 hour. So 1 hour, this is a break for EU. That is a break candle, continuation candle. Again, is this a sell I would take? Yes, the sell is valid or has validated, but is it a sell I would take? No, because even my stop loss wouldn't be above there. Because now, I do like 25 pips stop loss on FX pairs. So for this EU trade, I would wait for price to come back up here and maybe go down to the 1 minute or 5 minute for entry. So that's
Just curious, could you flip that to see if it's rejecting from buy SARS?
what, EU or gold?
Just EU.
If it's rejecting from buy SARS, so sure, I'll go here. So nothing on the 1 hour, nothing on the 4 hour. I mean, they might be there, but they might be away. 30 minute, probably something. No, because price hasn't been here in a minute, so I'm pretty sure they are, like, if you scroll back for months and months, but since price hasn't been here for, if an instrument goes down to where price hasn't been in a minute due to the trading view limitation of extending candles, you might not be able to see anything. Yeah. But maybe if you go, I'm pretty sure maybe the 1 minute you'll find something, maybe. Yeah, the 1 minute you'll find something. But on the 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
Up a little bit.
I'm sorry?
US 30 pumping up a bit.
Yeah. So we got that closure, or not a direct closure above that zone. So this trade should be at a 1:1 risk to reward. So let's shoot to full TP now. Come on. We need Steven and his market makers to put in the orders. Okay, so that trade risk-free, 1:1 risk to reward. If I personally, right, 0.75% risk. If I win this trade, I'm up 1.5%. That is 3K on a 200K account, 1,500 on a 100K account. So similar thing, like maybe nowadays you guys will see I'm more of a chill trader, just sticking to that one trade a day. I've noticed that we get these trades ideally the same time zone, the same times. And I know the market is different every calendar year or every month, but just waiting for that. And I told you, I think I put something in the Discord yesterday. Like, if you literally ask yourself, this is what I put in yesterday. If, like, you were to think about it, to think if you're struggling with being consistent, it's like, if you're to think about it, you're not really a bad trader. And that's what like one day I literally sat down and said, okay, what would happen if I literally followed every rule that I have? Because you guys know that at some point I was struggling with having TP and stop loss on my trades. There are times I wasn't putting stop loss on my trades. And then I came up with that list for trade requirements. And then I saw, okay, there's trade managers out there that you can set a TP and stop loss so that you always have a TP and stop loss for your trade. So it's like, if I could fix my issue of not having stop loss for a trade, that means that I can fix an issue for FOMO. Like, for me nowadays, I and for the longest time, I haven't FOMOed into any trade. So if I was able to fix my FOMO, if I was able to fix my over trading, if I was able to fix my not having a stop loss for every trade, then maybe, because the other thing I was quote unquote struggling with is not seeing the bigger picture. So like nowadays, if I can make this 1.5%, it's literally 3K on a 200K account, but not seeing that in a bigger picture, that how much would it take for me to earn 3K if I go on an actual job? So then that tells me, okay, I'm finding my setups at X amount, X time during the day. So why am I looking, if I'm finding my perfect or my ideal trade at 10 a.m. in the morning every day, why am I trying to trade after 10 a.m. after I've made my 1.5%? Why am I trying to stay up at night and try to catch a 11 p.m. move, knowing that I can get manipulated? So it's like, once you start seeing that and knowing that there'll always be trades, I think things at the end just line up and everything just comes together. But you just have to literally sit down with yourself and ask yourself, if you're struggling, like, why? I think every trader normally struggles, but you just have to ask yourself, why am I struggling as a trader? And once
I've been trading too early.
Yep.
So now I try not to trade until 9:30. I try not to even look at the charts until 9 o'clock, because I've been getting tricked into a lot of manipulation. So like, I'll be right, but it's gonna go to stop hunt first. So I
Yep.
have to look for that.
Yep. Yeah. So once you start thinking that, and then asking yourself if this is what you had to do full time, because that's what I've been telling myself, like literally every morning, if trading is what I'm going to be doing full time, what kind of trades will I be taking? So if I know that taking a trade is going to be the decisive factor on whether I pay my rent or not, then do I really want to start taking trades just because I want to trade? It's like, no. So but there's definitely some buyers right here. You guys could see that push back and forth. I know here we have some sellers based off of this, but hopefully we can push up past them. So I am literally like what? I am like 25 pips away from TP. So here it's those sellers that are trying to hold price down, but hopefully we should be able to liquidate them. September. Come on, US 30. I am like so close. So close to this thing. There it is. Come on, man. And almost there. We need that nice 1 minute candle to flash up. You guys can see that's the point. We have those this wicks. It's the point we have those sellers. So I'm just hoping we flush up, which I believe we should. Let me not jinx us, but I think we should be golden. Literally like 5 pips away from TP. This is right. So at this point, just know where we are at. We have some sellers, so we need to make that. For me, I'm holding, hoping we get the push up. Yeah, I know we have sellers there, but we just
I don't like the price action, so I'll move my stop to 0.5%.
yeah. Yeah, you guys can like start trailing because I saw that zone here and I thought about what I really, really want to do, but I will, because what I would expect here, I would expect, this is what I'm expect, like similar to what happened yesterday, like a spike up, slight continuation to the downside to trap buyers right here, and then the move back down, because this is what happened yesterday. So I am hoping that happens, but I will hold mine a little bit longer. Let's see.
I caught that buy all the way from the bottom, by the way.
Oh, right here.
That was gonna be the low of the day. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Come on, push up, man. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've seen this move I'm expecting happening a lot of times. Because if you go down to the one, you'll see, I forget what that pattern is. It's I forget what it's called, but I'm expecting that push up. It's like a squeeze happening. I am literally like 2 pips, 2 pips away. Oh my goodness. This is a good life, man. Now I understand those people like Stevie is like get into a trade, go on a walk. Like I haven't gotten to that to that level yet. I remember when I used to go to the gym because I used to gym. I mean, I haven't gone back to the gym in a minute. Just to go back to the gym in the morning, and I'm in a trade. I cannot even focus in the gym. It's like, oh my god. It's like you can't even work out in peace. There it is. I know we're almost there. I know we are gonna push. You see what's happening there. I've seen that like a lot of the amount of times I've seen US 30 doing that over the years. So that's why for me, I'm literally holding, even though I am like 1 pip away from profits. Because they're going to liquidate those sellers. Come on, US 30. Almost there. There we go. There we go. I am like $200 away from profit. I remember this one time. I don't know, I think I was trading with a robot, and I wanted like what was I? I wanted like 20 more cents to being profitable or to hit full TP. And whatever I was, there you go, full TP for me. Whatever I was trading reversed for like a whole week or 2 weeks, and I almost blew that account because I needed like 20 cents more profit. But anyway, I've seen this pattern before. Like if something is supposed to go bullish or bearish, it's like it's like a squeezing thing, because you normally have, let me show you guys, you normally have like some ceiling. So let's assume it's here, and let's assume price was going this way. So it's kind of, I forget what they call that, like whatever triangle that is. So they do this, come here, keeps rejecting here because it's creating higher highs. And then at this zone, you normally have that fight that we just saw. They try to pump up, push down, pump up, push down. The very last second, wiped out. And then maybe later, that's when they come back. But I've seen that. I've seen US there, and I've been a victim of it far too many times. This time, it wasn't gonna do that to me. But anyway, so that's a nice 1.5% gain. I'm hoping you guys caught it. So whether you got stopped out on the original gold break even, so I'll leave this because I need to do my markups later on today. So whether you guys got stopped out on this, or whether you guys got stopped out on the what was it? US 30, yeah, the original buy. So you should be up nicely 1.5% for the day. So let me know if you guys have any question. And there it is, a nice 5.6 gain. Let me know if you guys have any other questions for the day, but that should be nice back-to-back win. So hopefully tomorrow we get, I don't trade on Fridays. I don't think I will even catch a trade tomorrow. I think it's better to just take what we have this week. Literally, if you're taking this on a challenge with me for this whole week, you'd be up 6%. So just a matter of just patience, and just what I would say, find what times work best for you. If you find that you're getting stopped out or faked out during London, because London is notorious for faking people out. London, I think it starts off either with a move down, goes back up, and then New York comes and then does something like this or the opposite. So if you're getting faked out on London, just wait for New York, wait for those times we trade, like that 10 a.m. time frame, 9:45 to like 10:15 a.m., which I think ICT calls silver bullet. Just find whatever times work for you and you should be golden. But anyway, unless you guys have any other questions, that should be it for the day. Nice 1.5% gain. I will catch you guys tomorrow to end the week. All right, guys, bye.